Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good today. I'm back with another transfer video. So obviously if you're watching this, I hope you enjoy. Sorry guys, here we go. I have my laptop then. But big up to you all. Obviously today I'm going to talk about a few things. I mean social media's been crazy. It's obviously the day after. I did a video late last night talking about Madueke to Arsenal, and obviously it's the next day. I still feel the same. I still feel underwhelmed. I still feel like it's hard to find the positives in this. Like that is just truthfully how I feel. Um, I do want to discuss a few things because I think we all know in life what is wrong and what's right. Obviously, there has been, I don't know what you'd call it, around the stadium, near the stadium, there has been some sort of graffiti we've all seen with, Arteta out, other things like that, which I don't think, in my opinion, I don't obviously agree with that, but you know what, I think as fans, we will have our different opinions, but we do have to keep it respectful. Obviously, I don't agree with the signing. I haven't agreed with other signings Arteta's made. At the time, I didn't think Sterling would have been a great signing, and unfortunately, he wasn't. Like, there's many players, Willian. I can go through quite a few players that haven't worked out, but I think for me, this one's just really a tough one to take. But like I said, it's not his fault. I hope he does really well at Arsenal, and I hope he can really do really well and prove people wrong. So for me, I'm personally right behind him, and I hope he can do really well in an Arsenal shirt. There has been some updates on Madueke, but I just think it's important that, I think people have taken it too far. I think people do take it too far, and I think you have to know when not to do that. So yeah, obviously I think it's all being a bit of a mess at the moment. But yeah, big up to everyone that's watching this. Obviously let me know your thoughts on the signing if you haven't already, let me know. But yeah, for me this isn't a signing that I'm particularly over the moon about. But obviously when he comes to Arsenal, I'll get behind him, I'll support him obviously. That's what you do with Arsenal players. Um I wanted just to talk about the latest about Madueke. I might spend about 15 minutes talking about Madueke because I think fans aren't happy, really, are they? With Madueke, he is probably going to do his medical pretty soon. Obviously, he's out in pre-season, not pre-season, in the Club Cup with Chelsea. So Madueke is granted permission by Chelsea to leave the camp in USA and undertake medical before completing his Arsenal switch. The 23-year-old will not train with Chelsea and flies to the UK today after a full agreement reached on a 52 million deal, and it'll be a 5-year contract. So obviously the Athletic that posted that, and that is pretty reliable. I think that's pretty true. So yeah, we're gonna really have to see, how he will do in an Arsenal shirt. It's happening now, whether or not we like it, it is happening. And yeah, he's gonna, it's all happened so fast. I'm really surprised at how fast it's all been. Like I said, he's having his medical, done today. I mean, sorry, it's fine about saying he'll be getting his medical done pretty soon. So yeah, we'll all have different opinions on this. He's now going to be an Arsenal player, so this is probably going to be something that we will have to accept and just see how it goes. It's very difficult, like I said, to be optimistic because there's been other players that I think we could have gone for, and obviously Arteta's decided to go for him. So we're going to have to just see, the positive in this. But yeah, obviously let me know, guys, your thoughts on this signing because I think everyone's a bit mixed about this, and some people don't particularly, agree with this one. But of course, let me know. But yeah, with Madueke, it's going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was announced like next week. I don't expect him to come to the pre-season tour. I think he'll probably have a bit of a rest and a bit of a timeout. Um, but yeah, I think he'll be having a rest, and then he'll probably come and play for, have some training sessions with Arsenal. But obviously at the moment, because he's had a hectic schedule for Chelsea, I think he's probably just going to take a bit of a timeout. Um, but yeah, I do. It's very difficult. I think because he's a Chelsea player, fans are a bit disappointed. I think you look at his stats, his goals. He hasn't really scored many more than Trossard or Martinelli, and we know we need something better than Martinelli and Trossard. So I think that's where my frustration comes, at the fact, yeah, he will get us goals. Yeah, he's a good player, but he's not, like someone said in one of my shows, he isn't a level raiser, and that is what we need in a player. So obviously, naturally for me, I do feel a bit disappointed. Obviously, we'll go on to speak about Eze Gokares today as well, because I'm sure there's, I've checked some stuff out and there is a bit of updates on that. But yeah, I think the feeling definitely around the Arsenal fans is frustration, and I completely feel that. So I do get that, but obviously, like I said, I think people have taken it too far. So I think we need to remember, he is a person. It isn't his fault he's at Arsenal. I'm sure he will give everything for Arsenal. But it's just an unfortunate situation. It's sort of happened, really, guys. But yeah, we're gonna just have to see how this one will develop now, and he will be announced pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he will be an Arsenal player by next week or whenever it does happen. Um, Big up, Kevin. Always good to see you in here. Hope you're good. I'd take him any day. Yeah, I think he's definitely a player that you'd want if you're trying to get top four, top six. He's that sort of player, but he's not a player for me that I'd want to take us to a different level. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to wait till what Arsenal do. I know I've said to you guys that I'm not really over the moon about this. I'm gonna see what we actually do, because, as I said, if we have the likes of, you know, um, Eze, Gokares, maybe we bring someone else in. I'm not gonna complain. I'd be happy if that. Maybe he would be more of a squad player. Maybe it's a bit of rotation, but it's it's just difficult, really. It really is. It's a tough one, because I think Arteta and Burton need to get the fans on the side right now, because the fans, we're not happy. We just aren't happy with what's happened right now. We do want to see more, and I think, obviously, we're not happy. Um, we run. Nani will do a good job for you when Saka is injured, but what we got there is better than Nani is chopping at the bit to play for Arsenal. Harsh but true. I don't really know where he's going to play, because I've heard people suggest that he could play on the left. And is he going to? I don't see Arsenal spending 52 million on him for him to be on the bench. So I do expect him to start. I don't think he's just going to, like I said, he's not going to come to Arsenal just to be on the bench. He's definitely um, going to be a starter. So yeah, it's really tough, because we all have our own opinions on this, and obviously I just want him to do well at Arsenal. I really do. I want him to, prove people wrong and just do really well. But it's so tough, because I think, because he's a Chelsea player, and what we've seen might not be enough for us to be convinced by him just yet. Um, it's a lot of money at the end of the day, isn't it? And I think the reality is, he is an Arsenal player. Like I said, there's nothing we can do about it now, and I think we've just all got to just, get over it now. But yeah, I think why I'm frustrated as well is that there's been other options we could have gone for. I mean, Spurs have got Kudos. Like, why didn't we get him? Like, it's so, like, frustrating when there's been other options that we could have gone for and we haven't. That's why I'm frustrated, because I do generally believe there was better options out there for us, and we haven't gone for them. And I think that's definitely where um the frustration lies for us fans. The fact there has been other players we could have gone for with that same amount of money, but we're gonna have to just see, what happens going forward. But yeah, obviously, guys, let me know what you're all thinking at the moment about this, because I don't think fans are happy. I mean, I'm not over the moon about this, but when you're an Arsenal player, I will want you to do well. I will be behind you, and I will, cheer you on. So that's just how I am. Also, guys, to be up to all of you that are watching this, I do appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are about the signing. Um, yeah, like I said, drop any comments down below while I'm live, obviously. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, like this video and all of that. I'm going to be on here for a little bit today, to chat about the latest sort of news. Obviously, Madueke is the one that I wanted to get out of the way, because I don't want to speak about him for too long, because I think the situation is just really, like, tiring to talk about, because I think a lot of us aren't over the moon about this. But like I said, when he's in Arsenal shirt, I want him to do well. I want him to have a really good season. But yeah, I think it must be hard. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't really go on social media for a while, because I think he's already been hated before he started, and I don't wish that on him. It's not fair on him. Like I said, it isn't his fault. Arteta's wanted to bring him here, so it's sort of Arteta's responsibility. You know, Arteta's chosen to come here, so that's on Arteta. But yeah, I do hope that wherever he plays, he can do well, and like the fans will give him that support. I mean, I know a while ago people did write after like Sir Ramsdale, Ben White, etc., and they did really well. So you just never know what can happen. Like I said, I'm not going to write him off yet, but I'm just like I said, I'm not too sure about the signings. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not convinced by it just yet. Unfortunately, I wish I was, but I'm just not. He can be on the left side, but not sure that's the stronger side. Let's see Arsenal do the work. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to see what happens. We want Eze, we want Gokras. They're the ones that we will be excited about, so we need to see them happen. I watched Chelsea play for them. They were outstanding. Yeah, I think Chelsea are gonna have a really good season. They're definitely getting quite a bit of money. I think Nicholas Jackson's definitely going to be a player that will be departing Chelsea this summer. I think Chelsea are going to have a big summer. It's I think for me, like I just don't get why we keep going for Chelsea players. Like that is, I just find it quite frustrating. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, I don't know why we're doing it. I think I'm on the odd player because Wenger used to buy the odd player, like Czech at the time. You know that was fair enough, but every summer we've given Chelsea so much money, and I'm just surprised how fast this deal has happened because with Gokres and Eze, we're not willing to pay what they want to pay, but with Madueke, we're happy to pay that price. I don't get it at all. I think with Gokres now, Eze, especially Gokres, pay what you need to pay. I've heard when I've been looking online about what's been happening, it's like they want a certain price and Arsenal are like 4 million off it. You just pay it what they want at that point. Like just give them the money. Same with Eze, and I think that's what's so frustrating is that we're trying to find a bargain, we're trying to get a deal, but sometimes you just don't. That just doesn't happen. Um, no, I do want to obviously go and talk about Gokras now because there has actually been a few bits of updates. There's been more news happening about this, which I do want to talk about. So yeah, Gokras has this is the latest news on Gokras. He will not show up in training at Sporting today, tomorrow, or any moment this summer. His decision is clear, reporting this week. He wants Arsenal, only Arsenal. It's over with Sporting. Gokras informed Sporting president about that 5 days ago. Gokras still does not intend to report back for pre-season with Sporting. The striker was given an extended break by Lisbon Giants due to return on Friday. However, he told Sporting he will not play for them again. So he has made it quite clear he wants to join Arsenal when he doesn't want to play for Sporting anymore. So I think for me, it's just crazy to see that Arsenal aren't making the most of this. The only other thing that I would possibly say that we might be thinking is if he's saying I'm not playing for Sporting and he's refusing to go back to pre-season, maybe this means that Arsenal might be thinking we can get a cheaper deal if they want him gone because at the end of the day, it's like if you've got a striker at the end of the day, you'd want them, and they're not willing to play for you. You'd rather get the money for them and move them on. But I think with this situation, I think they won't. I don't think they're going to give up. I really don't. I don't think they're going to give up on the price at all. I think Arsenal just need to go for it. Arsenal just need to pay what they want to pay. But like I said, I don't think they're wanting to do that. I don't think. I think Arsenal want to pay a lower price, but I think Arsenal, like I said, will probably be thinking to themselves now because he's making a bit of a fuss. He doesn't want to go back to Sporting. They might be thinking. I think Arteta might be thinking, you know what? Maybe they'll give us a little cheaper deal just to get rid of him so we can get money to buy someone else because at the end of the day they will need to buy someone else for their season going forward, and the more time this is taken, I'm sure the more frustrated the Sporting board are, the manager is at Sporting, but like I said, I think we're faffing about. I think sometimes you can get deals, sometimes you can't, and I think for me just pay the price they need and just get it done. And yeah, I'd love nothing more than Gokras to be here for the preseason games, but I know that won't happen. Um, I think I just want to check with you guys. I think the games are coming up pretty soon. Um, I just want to have a look because I know we've got quite a few players for pre-season. Um, so yeah, the 23rd of July, I think that might be next Wednesday. We play Milan. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna get this done by next week. I don't think he'll be here by next week. Big up run. Chelsea players often homegrown and proven Premiership players smart but conservative. Palace get two Chelsea players on loan every year. Get used to it. I don't mind. There isn't for me personally. I don't have a problem buying a Chelsea player if they're good, if they're in their prime, or that isn't a problem for me. I think the problem for me is when we are buying players that are past their best and that they're not good enough. Like that is my biggest sort of problem I have. Like, why would you bring in a player that wouldn't get into a Liverpool team, that wouldn't get into a Man City team? So I feel like I just want us to act like a big club now. I'm not saying that, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Like I said, I have my own opinion on it, but I think, for example, when I used to watch Arsenal when I was younger, Chelsea had some great players. Like, if we'd have bought one of those Chelsea players in that prime, then in their prime, then that's completely different. But I think with Chelsea players, I'll be honest with you, it has been a mixed bag. We've had some great players, we've had some really poor players. I mean, Czech, I can be honest with you, towards the end he was not great, but I think he was good. I think Jorginho's been a good player. I think most people can say he has been a good signing. I think David Luiz towards the end proved to be good and important for Arsenal. Um, Havertz for me is a very interesting one with Havertz because if we have Gokeres, how does Havertz fit in this team? I mean, the midfield for me has got to be Zubimendi, Rice, and obviously Odegaard. Or Eze, whatever there happens, I'm not too bothered. But I just don't know how it's gonna work with Havertz next season with his role. Obviously, when the season starts, I do expect Havertz to start, and maybe gradually we'll see the striker that we bring and get those minutes. But I think it's going to be incredibly, interesting. I mean, Marino as well. Marino, I don't expect Marino to be a starter either. So for me, it's definitely interesting to see what it's going to develop throughout this window. But yeah, Gokeres, I think we just need to pay the price. I think it's just frustrating. Like I said, I just wish we could pay the price. So that is obviously the latest on Gokeres. I did want to speak a bit about Trossard, and then I'm going to speak about Eze. Now, Trossard for me is a player that I think his contract, I think he still has a year or two left at Arsenal. I think it's 26 or 27 has at Arsenal, so he still does have time here, but I feel a bit I feel a bit underwhelmed that we're letting him go. I'm not saying nothing's been announced yet, just to let you guys know, nothing has actually been confirmed, but it says here Arsenal are willing to let go Trossard after he agreed personal terms with Fenerbahce. The Turkish side have offered him a 3-year deal but have not agreed a transfer fee. Arsenal would want about 20 million for him. Do you guys think we could get 20 million for Trossard? Like, let me know what you guys think because I'm not sure if we could. Um, I hope we can. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I think we're just gonna have to see how it kind of will go for us. I'm not surprised we have shown a bit of interest in letting him go because obviously Madueke is going to come to Arsenal. If we have Madueke, we've got Saka as our wingers, we've got Waneri, we've got Martinelli. I think I want to keep. I would love to keep Trossard in an ideal world, but I don't think that's going to happen at all. Unfortunately, I don't think it's likely to happen. But yeah, it is what it is with that. But yeah, 20 million is that? Do you think that's too low? Do you think that's fair? I think Arsenal do want to get some money for some of our players. We haven't really seen many outgoings happen with Arsenal. So I think for me, we're gonna see if we have to generate some money with some of our better players. But yeah, like I said, Trossard was an amazing signing when he came into Arsenal. I would be sad if he went. I would be sad if he let him go. I'd feel a bit like he could have really helped us next season. And I think we need as many attackers as we can that are really going to help us. But yeah, I think it's a bit sad. But at the end of the day, if he's leaving to Fenerbahce, Marino's there. Marino is a world class manager, and I think that I'd be interested to see how Trossard would develop under him. To see him get better. We know what Trossard is like. We know how good he can be, but we might even see Trossard go to a different level. So yeah, I'm obviously really fascinated to see that move, to see if that will happen. I'm not too sure if it's going to happen at the moment, but nothing has officially been agreed. But all that's been said is that Arsenal do seem keen to obviously bring him to let him go if the right price came in. So let me know, guys, what you think of that as well. Now talking on Eze, that is a dream sign for all of us. That is a sign that we would all want. And like with the Gokra situation, it seems as though the fee is something that's causing a bit of a problem. So Arsenal's move for Eze is completely separate from the Madueke transfer. Both players are targets. So obviously we've got one. Hopefully we'll get Eze now. Arsenal's preference is to explore the possibility of selling Eze for a cheaper deal, though they're still prepared to put significant cash on the table. So it's like, for me, Arsenal want to see first if they can get a cheaper price for Eze. But I think, for me, I think we just, if we can't, we're just gonna pay the price. It isn't too bad for me. I think it's just gonna be how it's just that's the price it's gonna be when you're trying to go for a really good player, especially a winger like him. So yeah, for me, I think we just have to go for it. In my opinion, we just have to pay the price, and hopefully you'll be an Arsenal player. Big up, Mal. I hope you're good. Um, I've said it already. Arteta would sign a player that's going to bench a star striker. I think Arteta really does like Havertz. I'm not going to lie to you, and I do think managers, Arteta definitely does have their favourites, and I think it's going to be incredibly hard to see, some of these players get into the team, especially the likes of, Havertz. He's going to start, and I think that's going to be tough for him. I know Havertz has bulked up a bit, but to be honest with you, I just I just want him to help us win games. But yeah, obviously this is pretty much the latest news, guys. Like I said, if you've got any questions you want me to answer, I'm gonna stay on here for about an hour and a bit today. So obviously I'll be on here for a plenty of time today. But yeah, that is obviously the latest. Unfortunately, nothing has seemed to have developed. With Eze, with Gokres, it just seems as though Arsenal want to put in a lower price and see what happens. But obviously, I don't think it will happen. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what will happen with this. But I think it's quite frustrating, really. It's just crazy that we can get Madueke done like that, but when it's with Gokres, when it's with Eze, it's taking a million years. I really do I feel a bit frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Big up Tyro Gunner TV. Big up yourself. Hope you're still doing your content. Please do check out his channel, guys. I've seen some of your transfer videos, so keep up the great work. Here, Ron. What does we just gotta pay the price? Every kid. What's Xbox or PlayStation? But sometimes my dad can't afford it. Well, I think if Arsenal can't afford it, then we have to sell some players. That is what's going to happen. I mean, I think Eze is about 68 million. I mean, I know we can do Eze in installments, but I think we have to do the price for him. But we clearly have quite a bit of money if we can spend 52 million on Madueke. So I do think I'm not necessarily sure money is a problem. I think we're just trying to see what's the least amount we can pay for a player. It's just really an interesting one for me that we're not really wanting to pay the full price. So yeah, I definitely think every day something new is happening and something new will develop. So we're gonna have to just see if we end up getting them both. I wouldn't be surprised if we went for Watkins in the end if this deal sort of crashed and went bad. I don't know. Um, but obviously I don't want Watkins really. I don't think that is gonna win us league titles. And I think Arteta next season, I think he has to get it right for me. He's had plenty of time here, and if he doesn't get it right, then obviously, um, you know, people are gonna have their opinions on him, like I will, and you guys will. So, yeah, he has to get it right this time. He really does, and I hope he can. I want Arteta to do well. I want him to win some trophies with Arsenal next season because I do worry about some of the players' futures, like Saliba, Saka, maybe Timber. Like their lucky game time, I think is the lucky game time. Sorry, their future is a worry for me because I know they've still got a few years left on the deal, but I feel like it'll come to a point where they'll want to leave if we don't win stuff. So I feel like that's going to be really important. So yeah, for me, we've got to make sure we keep some of our best players here for sure. I think the closest window will be very exciting. I hope so. I really hope so. Because I definitely think if we go into season without a striker or a winger in Eze, then I think it's going to be very difficult for Arteta. I think fans won't be behind him. At the stadium, I do think people are very much together and behind him, but I think fans are going to start changing their opinion and things might get quite difficult for him. Big up Mal Dixon, hope you're good. Good to see you in the chat. What do you rate this winner so far, apart from Zubi? It was a 2, then the selling makes it a -5. I think, obviously, the window hasn't shut yet. If I had to judge on it right now, um, I'm happy with I'm happy with Norgard. I think he will be a good player. I'm happy with Zubimendi. Um, that is quite difficult. Obviously, I'm not particularly over the moon about Madueke. Um, I think with Kepa, I don't really know how long he will be how much he'll be playing at Arsenal because he could just be someone that would play. You might be playing 3 or 4 games a season, and in that, it's not really a lot to judge him off. So I think, that's a really good question though, because at the moment I'm not happy because we don't have the striker in, we don't have Eze in, and those 2 players they're gonna really take Arsenal to a different level. They really will. They're gonna improve how we play. So right now, I think maybe a 4. I think obviously happy to see Mendy. I'm really really happy with Norgard. With Kepa, it's more that I'm content with it. Like that doesn't excite me, but it's not a bad signing. Obviously Madueke, from what I've seen, I don't think I'm not sure that that's what Arsenal needs, and obviously I'm not sure what has actually happened with Mosquera because we had heard a lot of stuff that he was coming to Arsenal. We put in another bid, and that's something happened with that. So I don't know what's happened with him at the moment, but yeah, it did seem like he was coming to Arsenal, and I'm not too sure if he is anymore. But yeah, I think every fan has every right to be frustrated because I don't think this window has been a particularly an exciting one, really, has it? Um, so yeah, I think it's fair if you are frustrated, then that is completely fair enough. Um, as they will wait till Pallister a decision is made before he commits to the Gunners. Yeah, I think if Arsenal paid the price, he would. Um, I think if Arsenal paid the price, he would probably come to Arsenal, but it wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal didn't end up paying that price for Eze. But yeah, I would love Eze at Arsenal. He's done so well at Palace over the years, so that'd be a really good sign from Arteta. I will be giving Arteta better credit that Eze would excite Arsenal fans. Eze would be a good signing. Be up Mab's 4, so is that goosebumps? I think I think Rajiv Mendy is a good player. Um, and that he excites me. I think Steve Mendy probably doesn't excite as many people because we've known about it for a while. We really have, but I think at the moment, I think it's we've not done enough, really, have we? That's why I can't give it like any more than a 4. Um, like a 3 to 4 is probably what I'd say about a window because I just don't think our attack has improved right now, and I think we could be letting go of Trossard, Martinelli. I think it's really difficult right now to judge the window because I don't know what's next. We don't know what's going to happen next. We could bring Ezri, we could bring Gyökeres, but we just don't know. So obviously right now it's hard to judge because I don't know what we're going to do after this. But yeah, I do think we've brought in a few good players, but like I said, we need players that are really going to improve this team massively, and that's what we need to do. Arsenal are currently a much better team than last season. It's sad that that's not recognised. I think with the midfield, I think with Zubimendi, I think when the pre-season we're going to see what he can, bring to the team because our midfield is going to be different, and that isn't a bad thing. I've no doubt that he will be a good partnership with Declan Rice. But like we said, we don't know how our midfield will be, how it will go for Arsenal. But yeah, I do think we have improved in areas. Obviously, got a backup goalkeeper who I hope can get regular minutes. We obviously have added quite a few changes in the midfield, which I do hope works. But yeah, it's just I think at the moment I probably feel a bit underwhelmed with the lack of attack we've brought in. I was hoping that that would be our first. I was hoping when the window opened, we'd probably bring someone in a lot sooner in the attack, and we haven't. And that's why I probably feel disappointed. But I do agree. I think we're definitely going to improve next season. We definitely have, brought in some great players. I've no doubt about that. But we need to just get the right players in now. We need to get it done. And hopefully we'll have enough next season. I mean, I think it's tough because I look at Liverpool this window and they've actually got stuff done really quick, and I feel as though we haven't. And I think when you compare yourself to other teams, it doesn't make you feel as good. So, yeah, I think that's another thing that will be questioned as well. It's the fact we have taken a while to get things done, and yeah, I just hope things can obviously get done a lot quicker. But yeah, we're gonna have to just wait and see what happens. We really will, and hopefully, we'll get the right players in. But it's hard to judge the window now because we haven't. I'm hoping that we're gonna bring in maybe three more players in, two, possibly two. I think we're definitely gonna bring in a few players. I just think we need to make the most of Chris wanting to come to Arsenal. We just have to get that done for me, and I don't think we're doing that right now. So, yeah, it's obviously a tough one this window. I think when you see other teams around you doing really well and you're not really doing as good as them, it does put you down a bit. It's quite hard to be positive about your window, and like I said, we never know what Arsenal are going to do next, and that's kind of the weird thing, not knowing what our plans are, but we're gonna have to just hope that we can just do it. And yeah, we'll have to see. I think Eze is gonna happen. I do feel confident about Eze. I think that is a price Arsenal could go for. I do wonder who our backup options are. Um, for the striker, because I swear if it's Nicholas Jackson, I won't be happy. I don't think he would have Arsenal at all. Um, but yeah, don't feel too bad. We've got Nketiah as a striker for opening games. I don't know how we got that much money for him at the time, but yeah. I do hope he does well. For you guys. I've seen rumours with Nicholas Jackson. If this ever becomes true, I'm scared what will be. Yeah, I do not. I'm really sorry. I don't offend people that want him at Arsenal, but I just don't get how that would help us. Like, I'm not. I'll be honest with you. I see him at Chelsea. Yeah, he can score some good goals, but some of his shots are terrible. Like, yeah, I'm not. I'm not happy if he came. Jack Stanley. I wouldn't be. First of all, I'd be annoyed again that we're going for another Chelsea player. But I don't think that's what Arsenal needs at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't be amazed by that really. So I hope that doesn't happen. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to be surprised by what Arsenal do because we never know what Arsenal have up their sleeve. I mean, I think they definitely need to win the fans over. I think Eze coming does that a little bit more because if we've got Madueke and that's it, then that is incredibly poor. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have to see what Arsenal have up their sleeve. Obviously, for me, the opening day when we have United is the most important day. It's the first game of the season, and it will say to me what we're gonna do, how we're gonna play throughout the season. So, like I said, for me in that game, we do have to get it right. We do really have to perform, have all of our players there, or most of them. I'm okay if the odds one or two player wasn't there yet. Um, I want all the attackers here though. That's the thing. I mean, say if Arsenal were going from a square and he wasn't here yet, I'm okay with that because I know our starting 11 will be great. But I think I just worry that if we have got Chris by then, it's going to be the same Arsenal which we've seen over these last few years. Um, Big up yourself. Big up Mutter. And Nicholas Jackson would possibly cause a mass boycott. I mean, we've all seen the uproar of the meltdowns of how we're all feeling about the signing. And like I said, it isn't the player's fault, but if we got Nicholas Jackson, then there would be an even more of an uproar. I know fans wouldn't be happy with that at all, and I completely get it because I'm not happy. There's definitely no need to go that far, but I just think if we got Nicholas Jackson or Watkins, I think that wouldn't be what we need going into next season. That wouldn't be our answer for winning things. So yeah, that would go down, that would not go down well at all. I'll be honest with you. Um, that would be really bad. But I just hope that we can just bring in the right players. The United game is going to be important. We need all of our players for United game. We have to be as prepared as we possibly can. So, yeah, this will be a big test for Arsenal about what we're doing next. We have to get it right. We really do. Big up to all of you guys that are watching this. I really appreciate it. Obviously, let me know your thoughts, obviously, on Arsenal's window so far. If you're currently watching this, I do really appreciate it. Please do obviously subscribe here if you're new around here. Obviously don't forget to smash the likes on the stream, guys, and yeah, just let me know your thoughts, what you've made of Arsenal's window so far, because obviously it hasn't gone down really well, has it? Um, I think I think we just need to see a striker in Eze. I think that's what, as I mean, for me personally, that's what I want to see to feel excited about this window, because at the moment I don't feel like I'm jumping for joy. Big up yourself. Good to see you in the chat. Big up, Jong. Do you think there's a chance of getting another winger? Possibly. I mean, I don't know where Eze is actually going to play, because I don't expect him to play in the Odegaard position, because I think Odegaard's our captain. He's going to really start there. So I don't know. I think we'll get Eze. So I think we'll get one more. I think we'll get Eze and Gokres. I think that'll be it. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think we're gonna get any more players after that. So yeah, possibly. It's hard to know at this moment, because I don't know what Arsenal have in their minds other than Gokres and Eze. I think that's going to be it. I know we've obviously shown interest in like Anthony Gordon, and we've obviously had other interested, but um, yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting to see what we're going to do after this. But yeah, I think Rodrigo as well. I think that is more of a dream than a reality. I know he's not been playing for them, but I don't think that will happen. I think he'll probably go to a team like Bayern, who are doing a bit better. I think because I think our lack of silverware is a bit of our downfall. I think that's why we've not been having as much bigger players come to Arsenal. So yeah, I think that's definitely a problem. We got what's a shout out. So people butcher my name almost daily, but you nail it every time. I'm glad you got your name right. I know it can be frustrating when people get your name wrong as well. But yeah, big up yourself. But yeah, big up to all of you guys that are watching this. Obviously, I really appreciate it. Even if you're not an Arsenal fan, I'm always happy to hear your thoughts as an outsider, because we'll have different opinions, and I think that's what makes football so good, to have different views and that. So yeah, big up to all of you guys that are watching this. Like I said, don't forget to drop in any questions you guys may have for me. I'll probably stay on here for another half an hour. Um, but yeah, I'm just hoping that things are gonna improve, because it feels like it just feels doom and gloom. It's hard to feel quite happy. It's really difficult to feel positive. It really is right now. Especially with, I mean, Twitter's gone mad at the moment. With Madueke. Um, I think with Arteta, I think he wants to be a hero, and I think he wants to help players out that are struggling. And Madueke could come to Arsenal and he could get, say, he got 10 goals and he got 3 or 4 assists or something. I'd give him that credit. I mean, a striker is going to get the most goals, but I definitely think the wingers are going to have a big part to play. I mean, I don't know how many goals exactly Saka scored last season, but he definitely has helped, and so is Trossard and Martinelli on the way. But we need to see more goals from our wingers, and the midfield as well. I would like to see more goals actually from Odegaard next season. I know, he's attacker midfielder, and I know he's more of a creator. He creates these opportunities, but I would like to see a bit more from him as well. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of players I think need to step up next season. Spot on, 21 years, throughout. I mean, I've never seen us win a title, so I'm just really, I'm just so like Arsenal. I really want you to do this. I really hope you can. And would you accept Trossard to leave? I'll be honest with you. I know we've heard Martinelli and Trossard, but I would want Trossard to stay. I'd be really sad if he went. Um, but it's probably going to happen. It probably is what it's probably going to happen. I'm not going to be surprised if it happens because I think ultimately, he might want to have a new. Might want to start somewhere new. You might want to have a new adventure in his career, and you might want to win stuff over there in Fenerbahce. So I didn't want him to go, but obviously, if it happens, there's nothing much we can do about it. I think the price we're gonna get for him is like 20 million, which isn't really a lot, is it? But it is what it is. We got Rob. I hope you're good. Afternoon. So if Eze and Gokres would make it a decent window, be amazed if we get a Rodrigo to Arsenal. But who knows with Arsenal? Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm with you. I don't obviously see us getting Rodrigo. I think Eze is definitely realistic. I think he'd be happy to come back to Arsenal after spending time there when he was younger. But um, yeah, I think it's going to be hard. I mean, I also wonder as well where Sesko's going to go because at the start I thought we were going to get Sesko, but it ended up not happening. But yeah, I will be definitely interested to see who we will actually get this summer in the attackers because there's been a lot of options that I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were going to get at the time, but it didn't end up happening. So yeah, I'm interested to see what is going to happen for Arsenal. Throughout this window. I know at the moment the fans aren't happy, but I think if we got Eze and Gokres, I think things will be. I think we'll feel more happy about our situation. To be honest with you, um, but yeah, we're going to have to see what will happen. I think as fans, we need to feel excited, be excited about a signing. Eze would definitely excite you because we've seen when we played against him, we've seen how good he can be, and I think adding him into the team would give us that improvement next season. So we're going to have to see what happen. Regarding that, but obviously I really hope we can do it and obviously have a strong team. Pre-season's coming up, so I'm interested to see how Arsenal are going to get on in pre-season. I hope we do have the right players in. I hope that we're prepared and we can see a bit about these players and what they can bring to the team. So yeah, I'm interested to see how we're going to do, obviously, but at the moment I'm not jumping for joy. Palace will need to line up a replacement for Eze before they let him go. Nothing yet. So in the balance, yeah, that's the thing as well. Because I think if we're gonna get Eze, we need to do it sooner than later. Because Palace, like you said, they need to bring someone else in to replace him. And I think that, like I said, I'd rather us get it done in the next week, or pretty much soon. So yeah, I just really hope that we can just get Eze in as soon as possible. Like I said, I'd be very happy with Eze. I've said so many times, he is like a dream signing for me. He would be a signing that I'd be very, very optimistic about, obviously very, very happy about. So yeah, I really hope that can obviously happen for us. But I just never know with Arsenal what we're gonna do. I just don't know. Like I said, I can only hope and pray that we get the right business done. Because obviously, if we've got, Gokares, Eze, Madueke, Ziba Mendy, Norgard, possibly Mosquera, and then Kepa, that's 7 players. That is a lot of players in the team. I do wonder if we would do anything else in January or if we're just going to do that all in this summer. That'll be another thing. Would be interesting to see if we will do that. But obviously, time will tell. Like I said, what we're going to do. But hopefully we can get it right, and hopefully we can bring in the right players going into next season. As the season's going to come pretty soon, so we need to get this done. But yeah, I think if I was Teta Roberta, I'd want to get the fans back on board again because we're just not happy at the moment. But yeah, hopefully Gokres will be a done deal soon. I think Arsenal I just wanted to get a lower price for him, and I think we just need to get the biggest, just pay what they want. Really, we've just got to do that. So, Yeah, we're gonna have to see what Arsenal are gonna do, but it's gonna be interesting to see what is gonna happen. But yeah, obviously, guys, I'm happy to answer any questions for the last sort of 20 minutes on here. Happy to do sort of like a Q&A type of video. And yeah, big up to all of you guys that are here today. I really appreciate it. If we get all those players and we don't win anything, will you still back Arteta? Well, if we got all those players and we still didn't win anything, I'd be surprised for one, because I think a striker should on paper improve Arsenal. Um, it's so difficult because I think we have to as fans. I mean, there has to be a point where if you don't win something, you move on, because he has been here for a while, and even if you got us to a say you got us to a Champions League final and we came second, I don't know. I just need to see us win something for me next season. If we win something next season, it will give me some hope. It will give me that feeling of seeing that he can do that. I mean, you look at the team that we had when we won the FA Cup in 2020, it was a really poor team. And you look at the team we have now, we should be winning FA Cups, we should be winning these trophies, and we can't. So it's a worry for me, it really is. I think a striker is going to really help us win the league, though. Um, we got Mutza, I hope you're good. What frustrating is it seems that whoever we have in charge, our transfer dealings always move at the pace of a snail. Yeah, that is so true. I feel like we all know the players that the club wish to sign, but long it out. I thought Burton might change all of that. Yeah, I'm interested to see, because with Edu and Arteta, I can't say they were a great duo together. I can't say that that worked out particularly well. And I'm hoping, like you said, with Berta, maybe he's gonna put his foot down a bit. Maybe he'll say to Arteta, "No, I want this player. We're gonna get this player." Because I actually think Berta wanted Gokres, and maybe Arteta wanted Sesko. Um, I know Madueke is an Arteta signing. I don't think Berta would have gone for him at Chelsea. And obviously, I'm not saying that Madueke or any of these players won't work. We're gonna have to see. Only time will tell. But yeah, I think we go so slow, don't we? Like you said, Mutzer, it's such a slow rate. I mean, I've done so many videos and I've only done like a few announcement videos. I mean, it's really frustrating because you're seeing other teams go really fast, like Liverpool, Man City, and we're just here. Feels like we're just taking ages. But yeah, I hope we can obviously get Gokres and Eze soon, and that can be at a faster pace. Um, the problem is you end up with one of the best Gunners team ever, but what happened when PSG Scousers are at the peak? Yeah, that's a good point as well. I mean, PSG, I mean, they're so good and they deserve to have won the Champions League. Liverpool as well. Um, they're very good. I know they're going to get better next season as well. Same with Man City. I think with PSG, I think there's always going to be what ifs, but ultimately they do deserve to win against Arsenal and get to that final. But I think for me, we've really got to bring in the right additions, because I know we've got Havertz. I know Marino did help us well with goals, and we have players that can get us goals, but that just isn't enough for us to win the league. And I'm happy that we've looked at options like Gokres, and hopefully he will come to Arsenal. But we have looked for players to come to Arsenal, and yeah, I just really hope we can do that. I wouldn't be surprised though, and I don't think many of us would be surprised if, it ended up being like a Watkins or a Jackson at this point, because we never know what happens with Arsenal. We're quite, predictable. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up not working. So, yeah, I'd be very upset, because there's players that I want at Arsenal, there's players that you guys want, and I'm no football expert, but it's obvious to me that these players would definitely help us, and it's frustrating, it really is. But yeah, hopefully we can just get it done and bring in these right players to Arsenal. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as well if we saw Sesko in the Premier League as well, because I think he'd probably want to move there. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens. Remember the Benzema and Higuain sagas? It's telling into that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think that. big up, Ron. And problem with modern day football is that funding from the Middle East always trumps. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's. I just wanted to be. I wanted to see. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano saying, "Gokares is here. He's getting his medical." I'd love to hear that, but like I said, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's probably going to happen in a few weeks if it does happen. So, yeah, it is massively frustrating because I want to see these players get announced, and we are waiting, a very long time. I'm sure there has been work done, as I said as well, with Sporting, like, because Gokares has been refusing to play for them at pre-season, they're not going to be happy with that. The board isn't going to be happy with that. So I'm sure there is a lot of meetings going on behind the scenes. I'm sure that there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But I think because we've not seen it, we just don't know what's going on. But yeah, Sporting as well, like Crystal Palace, whoever gets rid of their players, you're going to have to replace them. So I do expect to see some sort of replacement for these clubs as well, like for Crystal Palace, for Sporting. But yeah, I think Arteta will have seen this sort of uproar. I mean, I know he won't use social media, but I've no doubt he knows about it, and I'm sure he knows the fans aren't happy. So I think for me, he's going to have to put the fans on the side again, and he's going to have to go for the players that we want. And the thing is, like, we're no coaches, we're no football experts, but you just go for the players that have done well. And yeah, it's really frustrating, really, but yeah, let's just see what happens, guys. What do you think about Edu heading to Global Football for NF? Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that, but at the same time, he had to get a job somewhere, so I'm not surprised in a way. I think Edu had to leave Arsenal. I think someone needs to put the foot down. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have a problem with Arteta wanting to bring in some players, but at the same time, Berta or say Edu at the time, he has to bring in some of his signings. So I felt there has to be a bit of a compromise. A few players, a few players, from Arteta's side, a few players from Berta's side, and they've both obviously got to collectively agree on that. So I think Edu leaving was probably a good thing because he still loves Arsenal. I think, as a player to what he's like now is completely different because as a player he's very good. But I think that job for him was quite difficult. So I think obviously him moving on in a different environment might be good for him. But yeah, it's weird him being in the Premier League really doing that, but it is what it is. Um, what do you think of the Chelsea Arsenal relationship? I mean, I don't have a problem with us going for the odd Chelsea player here and there, but it's the fact that we keep going for them time and time again. And like I said, it's okay if you're going for a Chelsea player when they're at the best. It's like if we at the time, for example, I know we actually didn't really need him, but if we went for like an Eden Hazard at the time, can you imagine what that would have done to Arsenal? So I'd rather us go for players that are good now and that are in their prime than rather players that um are not in the prime and are past the best. So I'm happy for us to bring players that are good now that aren't past the best, but obviously you just don't know with Arsenal um what they're gonna do. Madueke did come out of nowhere. I was surprised about this, but it's happened now, hasn't it, guys? And we're gonna have to see who else we're gonna bring in. But I think fans aren't happy that we're going for Chelsea players. I mean, it does feel a bit like an obsession. I'm not gonna lie. We do keep going back for Chelsea players. It kind of is a bit weird, but there's nothing much we can do about it anyway now. But obviously, let me guys know in the comments what you think of this as well, because we're all gonna have different opinions. We're all gonna have different views on this, and that's okay. That's football. And that's going to happen. But yeah, obviously, big up to all of you guys that are watching this. I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, if you want to send any questions, any comments, obviously, you're more than welcome to send them through. And I do hope you all enjoy my show so far. Like, if you are, please do like this video, and do comment down below any questions you have. And of course, like I say, do subscribe here too if you are new, as I'm getting close to 3.4k. So yeah, feel free to do that. Like I said, I'll be on here for about 15 minutes maybe till yeah, I'll let you guys know when I'm at the end of the show anyway. But Problem is the Arsenal board see top four as the goal. If fans hit them in the pockets, shirt sales, tenants the board will pull a finger out. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when that Super League stuff happened, listen, I'm not gonna go into that because that was awful, but when that happened, there was an uproar, and since then I do think they have given Arteta more money and something clearly changed. So yeah, I think for me, if you make a stand, then that is more likely for change to happen. And I think because people are kind of accepting how we're doing, I mean, people will say, I mean, everyone's got a different opinion, but if we finish second again next season, people will say we'll go again next season. We just need an attacker. We need this and that. But at the same time, it isn't good enough to keep finishing second every season. It isn't. And I remember last season, like we already knew we were going to finish second. We might have finished third, and you're watching the team and you're thinking, what do these games mean? The pressure's off now. We're not going to get first. We're not going to win anything. I think when we were in the Champions League, I felt excited actually. I think we did have a good chance to get to a final, but without the players that we were going to really struggle. So yeah, for me, it's been really interesting to see how we've actually done. Last season, but yeah, I think fans are getting frustrated, and a really good point. I think sometimes you just have to not accept things and just speak your minds. I think there's a way of going about things. I do think that for sure, but yeah, I do think this one has been rather frustrating. It really has. Big up, Ricardo Diaz. Big up yourself. I hope you're good. Big up Sporting. Big up. Sporting goes to Alves tomorrow. Last day for Gokres. From then on, there may be disciplinary proceedings. Yeah. I completely agree. Because I do think that if an Arsenal player refused to play in the preseason, they're going to get some sort of punishment, aren't they? So I do get why he's doing this. He just wants to move on, and that's fair enough because he wants to go to Arsenal and have a successful time there. But I think it's just not a great look, is it, for him to do that? And he's going to get some sort of punishment, as you've mentioned as well. Um, Historically, even Wenger was slow in the market, almost signing Hazard, Kante, Ronaldo. Do you know what? I would have loved Kante. I think he will go down as probably one of the most greatest midfielders. One of the greatest players of all times. He really was. He really was a great player. But yeah, I also missed the boat on that. I reckon. I mean, obviously, you guys know more about this than me, as I'm a bit of a younger fan. But I think Wenger wanted to go for certain players, but he couldn't because of the funding and the money, and he probably didn't have the backing that Arteta has now. Arteta does have a lot of backing now, if we are being honest, and I don't think that any of these other managers have had that for a while. So yeah, I do think we always have been quite slow, especially at signing players. We're not a club that moves particularly fast, but yeah, I do agree with that. I do think that's a good comment to make, and I do actually agree with that as well. But obviously, I just hope that we can just start to move things a bit faster in the future. But in general, we've had that problem because I thought we were going to buy someone like Watkins, Rashford's possibly. That's possibly an option then, but they would have been better than nothing. I don't know why we didn't go for them, but another example of showing why Arsenal had, done not great in the window either. Madueke is a talented young player, but during Arsenal brings pressure due to rivalry and high expectations. Signing him earlier from PSV would have brought less pressure and more patience. Yeah, I think that's a fair point because I think he comes from Chelsea. I think we've seen him at Chelsea and we know that he probably isn't what Arsenal need, but I think if he'd come from a PSV, he might not have had that, like you said, hate on him, the pressure. I think when you come to Arsenal, there's always going to be pressure on you because you're at a really big club and you need to perform really well. But I think because he's come from Chelsea, it does feel a bit more, like you said, more expectations are on his back. And big up Mutzer. Have you seen some idiot has painted Arteta over a load of tunnel paintings outside the ground? Yeah, I mentioned that briefly before, but yeah, I do think that I don't know. That is just. I mean, I saw it ages ago with when Jonas was the Arsenal women manager. Someone put Jonas out, and obviously, I don't agree with that. And there's gonna be young kids that will see that. I've seen another one that had a swear word in it, and I think the younger people that are walking through that, it's not nice for them to see. The other day, people are going to have their own opinion. If you're tether it in or tether out, that's fair enough. But obviously, there is a way of going about things. To be fair, and yeah, I don't agree with that. It's gone wild. It really has on social media. I totally agree. I was actually annoyed when Chelsea signed him initially. I think especially because he's come from Chelsea, it does feel more hard to kind of get behind him. But ultimately, we've bought other players from Chelsea, and they've become on became to do really well at Arsenal. So yeah, we're going to have to just see what obviously happens there. But yeah, fingers crossed. I do want Madueke to do well at Arsenal. I do hope that he does really well. Here in Portugal, they're already saying that Benfica and FC Porto will give 2.5 million each, which is the 5 million missing just to get rid of Gokres. Please do, please do. If Arsenal are going to do, I need people to get the money. Tottenham seem to be the fastest in the market. I think the last two signings went to bed in one kit. Ah, it's so annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I really wanted kudos. I'm not sure what's happened with the signing though because it seems as though that's cancelled, which I'm happy about. But yeah, a lot has gone on. Honestly, so much is happening at the moment in this market, and yeah, we do seem to be moving the slowest out of them all. United have brought in a few good players, but I think they're a bit slow as well. So yeah, I think it is going quite slow for a lot of these signings for sure, and I hope that it can obviously speed up a little bit more and that things can get done more because it is going quite slow. It's not. It's we need to be getting more signings than we really do. In the attacking sense, the attack is what's going to really get us those trophies. We have a great defense, but ultimately, if we're not gonna, you can't win. You can't. I don't think we can win stuff with the attack we have now. So yeah, for me, it's a real problem that we're facing at the moment. But yeah, I just hope that going forward we can bring in the right players because yeah, so much has happened. But yeah, it's hard because if we're gonna if we want Eze, if we want Gokres and we're waiting this long, people are gonna end up snatching him off us. And people are going to get there first because I think with Eze, it looked like Spurs wanted him and then that sort of went off and they've got someone else now. But I think with Eze, if we don't get him soon, then someone else is going to get him. So we really have to be at our best and absolutely go for it. So yeah, for me, that's going to be our aim for that. We have to really go for it and bring him to Arsenal before anyone else gets him as well. Um, so yeah, I really do hope that things are gonna improve soon, and I just want to be excited about a signing. It's crazy this with the internet. We're gonna see so many rumors. Obviously, with these rumors, you never know what is true and what isn't. So I do keep my mind open to that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what will happen with that. But yeah, there's so much transfer news at the moment. It is pretty crazy. And yeah, I'm enjoying sort of seeing what is happening, but I wish Arsenal could do more. Rodrigo support happening. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Liverpool aren't messing around this summer, and yeah, I think it's just showing really. I think if Liverpool got Rodrigo, it's game over for us. Really is. I think we struggle. With that. But yeah, we're gonna have to just see what is gonna happen with that because it's gonna be incredibly tough with everyone improving around us and we're not doing as much. So yeah, I think for me we've definitely got to improve, we've got to strengthen and yeah, get the deal done with Eze for me, get Gokres done. Do you guys think we'd get anyone else other than that? I just think we're gonna get I think that'll be it. I think we'll get Gokres and Eze. I think that'll be it for Arsenal. That would definitely improve Arsenal, but do you guys think that'd be enough? Because obviously I'm not too sure at the moment. That would be enough. But yeah, let me guys know. But yeah, big up to all of you that are in the chat as well. And yeah, appreciate all of you guys obviously watching my show today. I'm gonna end this guys in about 5 minutes. As they have been on here for just over an hour. I do appreciate your support. Obviously, if you're watching, let's get this to 30 likes as I'm nearly there. So, yeah, obviously, big up to all of you. And like when there is more news, I will be back on here as well to update you guys. Like I did last night. If anything breaks, I will be back on here to obviously chat about it with you guys. As I'm more happy to, do that. But yeah, it's obviously so much is happening with Arsenal, so much is going on, and I just want us to get the deals done. I really do, and I want to feel excited. Like Gokres will excite me, Eze will excite me, and right now I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel excited. I really don't, and I want to feel excited. So, yeah, fingers crossed, guys, that things can get done pretty much soon, and yeah, hopefully that I'll be back here soon with us announcing another sign. I'd love that to happen. But yeah, thank you all so much for your support today, guys. I'm really grateful. Obviously I'll let you guys know when my next video will be. But I'm going to end this now, guys. But thank you all so much for your support, for your questions, for watching my show today. Obviously, I really appreciate it. I just want to obviously read this before I go. No disrespect to Arteta, but if he doesn't win next season, he should leave. Arsenal's demands are high. We can't wait while he makes young, decisive decisions in big games. Yeah, we can't wait forever. We do have to move like a big club. I know we challenged for the last few seasons, but at the moment it isn't enough, and we need to start moving it forwards and bringing the right players. So yeah, Arteta has got a really big season ahead of him, for sure, and I hope he can get it right. But we'll have to see what happens. Like I said, whenever there's news that breaks, then we'll be back on here and doing a video. And yeah, thank you all for your support. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. And of course, don't forget to smash the likes on this. Do subscribe, do comment, do share, do all that stuff. And I will see you all very soon. Bye, guys.